Earlier this month, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. dropped a bombshell, revealing that 15 contractors had cornered flood control projects worth 100 billion pesos. Since then, he has inspected some of these projects and vowed that he will not leave Malacanang until flood control is fixed, calling substandard work and overpricing nothing less than economic sabotage. Senator JV Ejercito has been among the voices pushing for stricter accountability, even jail time for offenders. He joins us now to talk about what this means for investor confidence and to lay out his broader economic vision for the Philippines. Hi, Senator JV. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes, Mikey, good morning. Nice to be in your show.
Okay, so Senator JV, corruption, it's the elephant in the room. Even our president has called it out. With all the revelations, all the issues, in your view, how deep, how widespread is corruption in the Philippines today?
I think it's really blatant, brazen, with all of these revelations, and I'm hoping that with all of this issue on flood control, ghost projects, this has to be put on a stop. Again, it's probably the certainty of punishment that is missing in our country. Sabi ko nga, if poor man, pag may nagnakaw ng dilata, kulong ka agad. Pero yung mga mayayaman, no, yung mga nakabarong, nakasuit, na milyon ang ninanakaw, they get away with it. No? So again, I'm hoping that after all of these controversies, investigation, some people will be prosecuted, eventually be jailed, so that it will be a sample that that we are serious now, that we will not tolerate corruption and those who take advantage of government.
With the president's laser focus on this now, parang ngayon, it feels like it's going to be different, sir. In infrastructure, people say that corruption is most entrenched in flood control.
Yes.
People say, flood control projects are prone to abuse because hindi siya parang, it's not a bridge.
Yes.
It's not a road. Kung wala siya. And flood control,
hindi mo
makikita,
yes.
diba? What do you think about this? What do you think about the concentration of corruption in flood control?
Well, common sense tells us, Mikey, if you only look at the list, the top 15 flood-prone provinces or areas, and if you look at the list, that the areas or the provinces that got most of the flood control budget, there's a disconnect. So right there and then, you can see that there is something fishy or something is not right already.
Yeah.
And with the recent exposés during the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, during Senator Ping Lacson's privilege speech, it has it's really shocking.
As you said, blatant and brazen.
Yes.
The president said 100 billion pesos worth of flood control of projects just went to 15 contractors. What does this tell you?
Well, that means that it is not being, it may be that these 15 contractors are being favored because there are hundreds of contractors that are existing in our country. How come it's only 15 that got the bulk of it? If the bulk went to the top 15 flood-prone provinces, then that will be very acceptable. But for it to be divided among just 15 contractors is really something to look into.
Okay. I also wanted to get your reaction. Batangas Representative Leandro Leviste, now whistleblower. Very feisty, very young, very feisty, very courageous. Do we need more people like him? What are your reactions to this?
Well, I'm hoping that a lot more will be like Leandro Leviste, who will have the guts to tell the truth, and likewise have the courage, to pinpoint some people, who are really responsible, and also to resist temptation. He was offered, but he resisted, and he even went out on media and to tell him about it.
And he's naming names. Provincial Governor Buhain. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, we don't want to judge, but we would want to have investigations. And as I mentioned earlier, regardless of who, I'm hoping that after all of these controversies, that some people will be prosecuted and eventually be jailed. Again, what is important, Mikey, is that there is certainty of punishment so that people will not repeat the same or will not be confident enough to go into this or go into this anomalous
Yeah, we
and
need an example.
corruption.
We
Yeah,
need that
example.
fear.
Yes.
We need that fear instilled. President Marcos ordered a lifestyle check on all officials amid anomalies in the flood control projects. How do you agree with this move, and how far do you think it should go? Cabinet secretaries, lawmakers, even local officials. How far do you think this?
Well,
lifestyle
definitely,
check?
I agree with that 100% because it should be. Common sense tells us that if you're a public official, we should be living modest lives. No, we should not be extravagant, displaying Swiss watches that are worth millions. No, sports cars, SUVs, what have you. Yeah, and I think it should go not only it would not only cover national officials, cabinet secretaries, even local officials, no? As long as you're elected, you should be living a modest lifestyle.
Yeah, when we were talking earlier before the show began, you told me that some local officials don't even like drinking local water in favor of Fiji and other
Evian.
Evian, as you mentioned.
Yes.
What are the other blatant examples
I
that are red flags?
think watches. I think some people are wearing Rolex, and Rolex is already an ordinary watch nowadays. What they wear is Richard Milles, Patek Philippe, Audemars, and these are, I think, at least 5 million or above, no? So, anyway, while everybody suffers, especially those who are victims of flooding, they lose everything, their properties, hard-earned money, motorcycles, television sets, whatever, refrigerators, no? There's hard-earned money, and then you see people brandishing or going around in Patek Philippe and very nice
At the core of this, sir,
yes.
How should public officials live given their positions and salary levels?
Again, modest, no? Just the right. No? You don't have to be, hindi mo tayo kailangan paano, no? Na plastic na, sobra namang riding Innovas or whatever, very, yung siguro decent, something decent, but not too much. There's a right mixture. It's just like coffee, no? Not too sweet, not too, just
Tamang timpla lang po.
Tamang timpla lang.
Tamang timpla lang. Sir, what do you think is the level of trust in the DPWH today, given all of the revelations that have come up?
Well, it's really shocking, no? Even I myself was shocked, no? Given during Senator Lacson, I was just watching, flabbergasted. Wow. They have become so blatant already, no? That I mentioned that it's a different level. Sabi ko parang impyerno levels na ito. They don't, it's already there's some people will make profit, no? Especially contractors, sometimes works, as long as you deliver what is due, no? Yung projects that are according to standards, according to specifications. But for you to already profit and not to deliver and make it a ghost project, that's already too much, right? Yeah. Sabi ko sana kung kinapalan yung semento, kinapalan yung bakal, baka nawala yung baha. Ang problema, yung mga mukha nila ang kumapal. At yung pitaka.
DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan says he has no involvement in any corrupt practices at the DPWH. Do you believe him, sir?
Well, it might be that he doesn't have any knowledge of what there's too much, a lot of district engineers and district engineering office. It might be that about 100 or almost 200 of them, you would not be able to monitor everyone. But, ignorance does not make excuse you for...
Yeah, you're still the boss.
You're still the boss.
You're still in charge.
Command responsibility. That's the sad thing about being in government. So, I recommended that he take a leave of
Yeah.
absence.
So you
that,
think he should step down while this probe is ongoing?
maybe out of delicadeza, so that the investigations will go on without suspicion of
Yeah.
him being able to influence the department or agencies.
Okay. The problem is it's deep, it's widespread. We know it's there. Let's talk about the solutions. You authored the Public-Private Partnership Act in December 2023.
Yes.
What pushed you to do this, and what of it now?
Well, Mikey, it has been my advocacy. No? I've been pushing for infrastructure development ever since I stepped into Congress. I was still a member of the House of Representatives. I already gave privileged speeches on the need to really prioritize railway systems, modernize airports at that time. But, nobody really advocates infrastructure. So to enforce that advocacy, the PPP was a vital measure, priority of this administration. And the Senate President asked me if I could take over. No? It was not originally my measure. And since being a good soldier, it was technical, it was a difficult bill, I didn't hear it, but
and it's what we really need. We need someone to champion infrastructure in the Philippines. When you talk to foreign investors, the biggest red flag to investing in the Philippines is really the level of infrastructure.
Yes.
How big would you say our infra gap is now in 2025?
Well, Mikey, to put it simply, I estimate we are behind in terms of infrastructure development compared to our neighbors. Not Asia, just ASEAN. Maybe 30, 35 years behind. Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and now Vietnam is investing heavily on infrastructure. They did it in the 90s, and look at where they are now compared to where we are right now.
If the government can't do it, who else but the private sector? So
That's
you
right.
believe the likes of Ramon Ang, with the expertise, with a track record, should take over?
That's why, Mike, I pushed for the PPP, even though it was not my bill originally, but because I knew that it was going to be complementary, it will supplement my advocacy of infrastructure development. We will be encouraging private participation in infrastructure. Ramon Ang is the best example, and San Miguel, that it could really work. No, the success story of TPLX, Skyway, the NIAX, and now MRT7. So sometimes if I pass using the Skyway and NIAX, I go, where will we be without Ramon Ang in his vision? So we need the vision, the expertise of the private sector, but at the same time, we need to keep the stake of government.
Correct.
We need not give it up. No, as what happened in the EPIRA, I think it was a mistake, no, giving the entirety of the power plants. So here I would suggest that PPP, that the government would remain its stake so that they will still have control and say in the utilities.
Yeah. You also filed the Comprehensive Infrastructure Development Master Plan. This is something, infrastructure takes years. It's beyond administrations. It's beyond, it's a 20, 30-year play. Can you tell us about what we need to do so that our vision when it comes to infrastructure is not just short to medium term? We really need the long-term stretch here.
That is correct, Mikey. As you mentioned earlier, the red flags of foreign investors when they look at the Philippines is really infrastructure. We are lagging behind our ASEAN neighbors. No, we're spending less than 2% of our GDP, na supposedly more than 5%. That's why I'm really pushing for this so that we can catch up, no, with our ASEAN neighbors. So what happened was, because of our political system, Mikey, our national leaders, our presidents, national officials are elected for 6 years, local officials for 3 years. I would say that most of them look at the short and medium-term programs or projects or legacies that will be able to leave behind. So, yung pong long-term projects and programs were left behind. So, now with my bill, yung Master Plan for Infrastructure and National Development, or the Comprehensive Master Plan, suggests that all these big-ticket infrastructure programs, which takes years, no? I think it's 20, 30, even 50 years, yung from planning, study, research, packaging, to implementation, actual implementation, and execution that takes decades. So it transcends different administration. In my bill, all of these projects, whoever sits as president should be continuous, so that we will be able to play catch up to our ASEAN neighbors.
Yeah, it's not a personal project; it's a national initiative, and we need this to go beyond the legacy of specific administrations.
And I think, Mikey, with what's happening now, we will be hitting two birds with one stone. Hopefully, we can catch up already in terms of infrastructure development with our ASEAN neighbors. But at the same time, we will be able to do away or prevent these kinds of anomalies, no? And in this flood control, flood management or flood control projects problems, it came out that there is no master plan, no. So what is just nagpa-project lang just for the sake of having a project. So it doesn't solve the flooding. What we need to solve the flooding in Central Luzon, Pampanga, Bulacan, parts of Metro Manila are big ticket flood control projects, no? Floodways, spillways, water impounding reservoirs, pumping stations. This will solve the problems. But because of the 350 billion budget of the flood control, I think all the districts would want a pie of that. So nangyayari, pinaghati-hatian yung flood control projects, nagiging slow protection, drainage improvement, all districts. It's not concentrated on the flood-prone provinces. So it does not solve. 3 years na. We have been having hearings on flooding year in, year out. It doesn't solve. So I think with the comprehensive master plan, we can include already the flood control management master plan, that it should be followed.
That's what we need, a comprehensive master plan that spans administrations. Going back to the accountability and the flood control issue, you know, Congress, do you think Congress can police itself here?
I would think, I'm part of Congress, part of the Senate. I think it will be more prudent to have a third party body, no, to investigate, so that they would remove the doubts, because there are suspicions that some lawmakers, legislators are involved with the insertions. So I think it will be nice, it will be better to have a third party.
For credibility. And what would be the composition of that third party, sir?
Well, that I do not know yet. Probably civil society, organizations, the church, religious. No? So
okay, and sir, not much time, but as our debt is expected to hit 19 trillion pesos in 2026, corruption makes that even worse. What are your thoughts? I mean, you know, umuutang tayo, pero saan pumupunta yung inuutangan natin?
Well, it's really frustrating right now, no? If you hear about those figures, again, from 15 trillion, now 19 trillion, and then our economy is not improving. Our foreign investments, we are losing even to Vietnam right now and other ASEAN nations. What we need to do, well, this is just my personal opinion, we have to double time on infrastructure development. We have to be more consistent in our policies. We have to address the problem of energy and also corruption. No, I think these are the things or the factors that we need, that the administration has to address in the next 3 years, so that we can play catch up and get the bulk of the foreign investments that will be able to improve our economy and hopefully lessen our debts.
Yeah, well, at least this is all come to fore already. No less than the president is talking about this with laser focus.
I think yes, not to double time. They need to triple time now.
Triple time.
Because
that's
3
right,
years
sir.
will just go on just like that, no, Mikey? So they need, the administration has to play
Speaking of 3 years
time.
going on just like that, you know, 2028 is just around the corner. What's next for you, Senator JV, after this Senate stint?
Well, I still have one more term. I'm hoping that I'll be able to continue what I've been fighting for. Well, of course, on the social programs, universal healthcare being the principal sponsor and author. It's a 10-year program with only on the 5th year, halfway. So I would want to monitor and really look into it until it is really fully implemented, so that people will all the Filipino people will really benefit, no, on universal healthcare. And the ones we're talking about is infrastructure development. I think I'm the only one really advocating infrastructure development, because it's not only convenience, and it takes years, no? I think decades. I'm pushing for the comprehensive master plan. I'm hoping it gets passed, and again, it would take years, but I'm hoping that we will be able to play catch up, no? I've been defending the DOTR's budget, infrastructure, yung subway, North-South commuter line. I'm hoping to continue all of these advocacies again for one more term, so that hopefully by that time, you can see already that universal healthcare will be fully implemented. Our infrastructure, our railways some will already be online by that time, and continue our infrastructure development. So I'm hoping.
Beyond that, any plans for higher office, sir?
No more. I'll be satisfied already with I'll retire as a senator. By that time, I'll be almost 30 years in public service. I started young as a mayor for 3 terms, congressman, and as a senator. Then I'll be happy. And I don't want to, I have no ambitions to go higher for higher office.
Okay, well, there's already a lot on your plate with all the bills that you want filed. Thank you for your time
Thank
this
you,
morning,
Mike.
sir.